The National Museum of the Italian Risorgimento in Torino was founded in 1878. It is uniquely national due to the importance and richness of its collections. It is located in the heart of Torino, in Palazzo Carignano, and has been an official UNESCO site since 1997. The palace building houses the original seat of the Chamber of Deputies of the Subalpine Parliament, dated 1848. Today it is a modern, interactive, multimedia museum which offers its visitors a one-of-a-kind experience. In a tour involving 30 rooms, visitors are guided through the facts and leading figures of the Risorgimento, the unification of Italy and the birth of European nations. From the grand revolutions of the 1700s right up to the brink of the First World War, side by side with the more traditional political and military aspects, the tour blends in stories about society, culture, art, technique, and mentality. The collections. The substantial heritage, partly displayed in the museum tour and partly revalued in temporary exhibitions, is largely held in the iconographic showcase. Among the diverse types of material, the principal nucleus of which spans the 18th and 19th centuries, there are some examples from the 1600s and others which run through to the 20th century. These include, in particular, the collections of iconographic prints, maps, and postcards, as well as the collections of historical photographs and posters. An important library is annexed to the museum itself, specialized in the history of the Risorgimento period. Part of this heritage is the Encyclopedia or Reason Dictionary of Sciences, Arts, and Crafts, compiled under the direction of Denis Diderot and Jean-Baptiste Léron d'Alembert and printed in Livorno, Leghorn, between 1770 and 1778. This library is particularly interesting because it contains some of the most important periodicals published in the 19th century. The historical archives of the museum represent a documentary complex of extraordinary richness and interest. The main body is dated between the 18th and 19th centuries and includes documents deriving from the 13th to the 15th centuries and running up to the Second World War and the Resistance. Flanked by authentic archival collections relating to men and women, politicians, soldiers, patriots, families, and institutions, documents are stored which give evidence of the taste for collections from those times. The typology of the finds present is very varied: weapons, banners, uniforms, printed documents, and manuscripts, and figurative works. The place of honor is certainly represented by the Chamber of Deputies of the Subalpine Parliament, a national monument since 1898 and the only original example in the world of the parliamentary halls established after the revolutions of 1848. Proclamation of Rimini by Gioacchino Murat in 1815, preserved in the museum. The 2,579 artifacts on display to the public, which were selected from the 53,011 belonging to the museum, describe the path that led to the unification of Italy. There are also references to other European nations that acquired independence in the 19th century, experiencing a period comparable to that of the Italian Risorgimento. There are exhibition itineraries for the disabled aimed at the blind, the visually impaired and the hearing impaired. The exhibition occupies approximately 3,500 square meters distributed over 30 rooms. The first three narrate the exhibitions of the past from a national perspective from 1878 to 1961, from a Piedmontese and Turin perspective and from a fascist perspective, to illustrate the different interpretations that the Risorgimento had in the 19th and 20th centuries.